So our lecture tonight is going to be Eating Your Life. We will show you practical ways how you can eat a healthy plant-based diet. We will also have 4 food demos. As you see, you have the recipes. We have some excellent cooks here who will show you how to make good, healthy, easy things. And we also have 2 gentlemen who will help us in the cooking. So to encourage all of us, no matter what age or whether we're male or female, we can eat healthy and cook healthy. I would like to ask you a question. When you have high blood pressure or high cholesterol or elevated blood sugar, where does the doctor usually send you to?
Pharmacy.
To the pharmacy. That's right. To the pharmacy. Now, we Americans spend more money on drugs than any other country in the world. This graph that you see is only part of the graph. The country that uses the lowest number of drugs per capita is Mexico. They use about $200 worth of drugs per year, per person. But as you see, as you go up in the Western world, we're on the top. $1,112 we spend on prescription drugs. That's including over-the-counter drugs. And that comes to about $325 billion on prescription drugs a year, which is 10% of our total national health expenditure. And therefore, because we're using so many drugs, we also have many side effects. And we also have many illnesses that are not being treated, but we're putting a Band-Aid on them instead of coming to the root cause of the disease. So this evening, we want to show you how you can eat and thrive and how you can learn in a simple way to incorporate into your lifestyle 12, actually, it's 10 healthy foods or food groups. The Daily Dozen food groups were introduced by Dr. Michael Greger. He is a medical doctor, a scientist. He has written books. And basically, he and his staff look at 25,000 research papers on nutrition every year. And they look at the findings, and then they publish the findings. And so based on that, he came up with this Daily Dozen. And that's what I'm sharing with you tonight. And basically, there are foods that you see displayed right here that grow in our gardens, that for those of us who don't have a garden, we can buy them in the grocery store, but mostly in the produce aisle, the fruits and the vegetables, and then the whole grains and the beans, and the nuts and seeds. Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." Let's see how medicine can be our food. The first food group are beans. Beans are the fountain of youth. They should be eaten daily. They are rich in probiotics, which are produced in the stomach. They relax the stomach and slow the rate at which sugar is absorbed into our bloodstreams. So people who are diabetics especially should be eating beans 2 times to 3 times a day. Weimar Institute is a lifestyle center in Northern California where they serve beans to their patients 3 times a day, starting with breakfast. They have half a cup of beans for breakfast, and then for lunch, maybe half a cup to a cup. And then at dinner, another half a cup of beans. 1 cup of beans has 15 to 17 grams of protein and about 15 grams of fiber. And we really need to be eating about 45 to 50 grams of fiber a day. So basically, if you have a cup to a cup and a half of beans, you can get half of your fiber for the whole day. And the good thing about fiber, it makes you feel full. It doesn't have any calories. And so you can feel full on a few calories by eating beans. Beans can be sprouted. Lentils. Has anyone ever sprouted lentils? They're very delicious. And they sprout very rapidly in about a day, day and a half. And they're so rich in protein that you can actually use them in your smoothies. Especially people who go to the gym, they have protein powders. This is better than protein powder. Just have some sprouted lentils in your smoothie. Another good bean is edamame, the green soybean. 1 cup has 17 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber. They come in these little pods. They're very yummy to eat. And instead of potato chips, this is a good thing to eat. Full of fiber, very, very delicious, and lots of health benefits. People who eat beans around the globe live longer. The Japanese eat their soybeans. In Sweden, they eat brown rice and peas. In the Mediterranean, lentils and chickpeas. And people who eat beans also have slimmer waists. So if you would like a slimmer waist, eat beans. They're packed with fiber, folate, and phytates, which may reduce the risk of stroke, depression, and colon cancer. So, why aren't more people eating beans? They may say, beans just don't agree with me. How many of you have said that? No one? One person. I've heard a lot of people say that. A lot of my patients used to say, beans are not for me, they don't agree with me. However, researchers added half a cup of beans to people's diets, and they found they had no problems. The majority didn't have problems. And so after the second and third week, 70% of those who had flatulence reported it decreased. So soaking beans repeatedly in water, tossing out the cooking water, reduces any kind of problems as far as digestion. Also, adding cloves and garlic helps with that problem. There are over 100 varieties of beans. Does that tell you something, that our Creator wanted us to eat beans? If you're sick of one type, you can have another one. And so here you can make pinto beans and brown rice, minestrone soup, which takes kidney beans, a white bean stew, a lentil soup, or you can have a red lentil soup, a chickpea soup, chili, hummus. Garbanzos are used in the hummus, or you can use white beans in the hummus, or you can make Cuban black beans. When I got married to my husband, who was from Brazil, he announced to me that in Brazil, people eat beans every day. And I did not like that, because I came from Eastern Europe, and we ate potatoes, not beans. So I thought, what am I going to do? I said, how many times would you like me to cook beans? He said, 2 or 3 times a week. And I'm thinking, I don't know how that will happen. But I tried maybe twice a week, and then I lowered it to once a week. But then something interesting happened. 10 years later, I went to Loma Linda University to get my master's in nutrition. And guess what I learned there? That beans are very, very good for you. And they didn't even have all this research I'm sharing with you now. But I realized beans are a lot better for me than potatoes. So I started eating beans and lentils and black beans. And I'm the type of person, if I find something is good, if I read about it and research says it's good, I do it. Whether I like it or not, I do it until I get to like it. So now I eat beans every single day. And that's what the recommendation is, beans every single day. And it's great. My sons, they all love beans. And potatoes, I hardly cook. And I will tell you a little later why. But anyway, so do you know which are the healthiest fruits and which are the healthiest vegetables? Blueberries, good for you. The healthiest fruits, okay? And how about the healthiest vegetables?
The greener the better.
The greens, good for you. You guys are all well educated. That's right. The green ones are the best ones. And so we have high antioxidant power in all the berries. They're 10 times higher in antioxidants than any other fruit. 50 more antioxidants than in animal foods. Animal foods don't really have antioxidants or phytochemicals. They protect us against cancer. They boost our immune system. They guard our liver and brain. And also, people who consume berries were significantly less likely to die of heart disease. So the power is in the color. The deeper the color, the more antioxidants and phytochemicals. There are other health benefits of berries. They boost our natural killer cells, which are white blood cells that fight against viruses and cancer cells. They gave athletes 1 cup of blueberries for 6 weeks, and they doubled their natural killer cells from 2 billion to 4 billion. Do you see what power there is in berries? And then, of course, we have tar cherries, which reduce inflammation, goji berries, which improve sleep. Black currants improve symptoms of computer eye strain. People who eat blueberries and strawberries, in one study, this is women, had slower rates of cognitive decline by 2.5 years. So eating berries is good for our brain to slow down our cognitive decline. So let's have a little guessing game here. You help me. What has more antioxidants? White cabbage or red cabbage? Red. Red, good. How about the onions? Red. The red onions. How about the lettuce? Romaine. The romaine, very good. And what about the grapefruit? Which one has the most?
Pink.
The pink, yes. And the grapes?
Purple.
The purple, yes. And the apples?
Red.
Very good. So now when you go shopping in the grocery store, you shouldn't have any trouble buying the highest antioxidant foods. You get the strong colors and you get a variety, just like we have here on our tray. We want to stay away from the light. If you have a few light ones, but the stronger the color, the more nutrition. And the problem is this, that Americans and Europeans eat a lot of pale and beige foods. Is that true?
Yes.
And you know what is it about these foods? They're comfort foods. So people like to eat these because they make them feel good. But the problem is they're pale in nutrients also. They don't have antioxidants in white bread and white rice and white pasta. So that's why I don't eat too many potatoes. But I did make a recipe. I do like potato salad where I do half beets and half potatoes. And it's very delicious. So that increases your antioxidant power. But when you go to a potluck, avoid pale foods. If there are 4 different pasta dishes, have one. You know, if there are 3 rice dishes, you don't need rice if you have white pasta, right? So again, choose rich colors. Okay, we're going to talk about other fruits. Colorful fruits are healthier because of their pigments. Beta-carotene is found in carrots and sweet potatoes. Lycopene in tomatoes, and cooked tomatoes have more lycopene. Anthocyanin pigments in blueberries. And so we want to concentrate on the colors. What should you do if you have sleep problems? You can have some kiwis ready, and 2 hours before bedtime, eat 2 kiwis. It also helps with irritable bowel syndrome, and it also improves the immune system. But cruciferous vegetables are powerhouses, especially for cancer. Looking on this picture, tell me what kind of vegetables are included in this cruciferous vegetable group. What do you see?
Leafy.
Pardon me?
Leafy vegetables.
The leafy vegetables, okay. Those are collard greens, yes. And then what else do we have? Cauliflower, kohlrabi, cabbage,
Parsnips.
Broccoli.
broccoli, Brussels sprouts. What I don't have here is bok choy, also watercress, and wasabi. I have never made wasabi, maybe someone else had. But those are all cruciferous vegetables. These are special vegetables that prevent DNA damage and metastatic cancer from spreading. They can activate defenses against pathogens and pollutants. They help to prevent lymphoma. They boost your liver detox enzymes and target breast cancer stem cells. They reduce prostate cancer from progressing. So sulforaphane is the enzyme that is responsible for these benefits. And it looks like this chemically on the back, on the left there. This is a potent anti-cancer antioxidant. It may help the brain and eyesight. It reduces nasal allergies. It reduces inflammation. And it's found mostly in broccoli. But the most exciting research, which just recently came out, is autism. 2 or 3 cruciferous vegetables a day, which is about a cup to a cup and a half of cruciferous vegetables given to an autistic person or child, improves their social interaction, abnormal behavior, and verbal communication within a matter of weeks. Isn't that powerful? This is in broccoli. Do you see how our Creator, a wise Creator, put in our food such perfect packaging to heal our diseases? To me, that is very, very exciting and fascinating. When I was in Europe, Eastern Europe, there was a young man, young boy, I should say, he was 15, and he has autism. And I talked to his mom, and I shared some of this research, and she's been giving him broccoli, and she definitely notices a difference in his behavior. Okay, how do you prepare cruciferous vegetables? This is something important. Sulforaphane is destroyed by cooking. So we're going to use the cut and hold technique. So you chop your vegetables. Let's say you're having broccoli. You chop the broccoli, you wait 40 minutes, you can do something else in the kitchen, and within those 40 minutes, this sulforaphane is formed, and once it's formed, you can put it to cook. And then you're doing fine. You're going to have it loaded with sulforaphane. You know, roasting broccoli or cauliflower and also Brussels sprouts is a good way to make it. And you can sprinkle a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic salt, and lemon when it's finished. And it tastes very delicious. You can make broccoli sprouts. The limit is a cup and a half a day. They're very, very powerful, especially for cancer. And again, you can make them at home. Take 2 tablespoons of broccoli seeds, put them in a mason jar, soak them overnight, drain in the morning, rinse twice a day, and within 48 hours, the sulforaphane will peak. Mushrooms. Mushrooms are a powerful food. They have ergothioneine amino acid, and our body doesn't make it. This amino acid concentrates where we have oxidative stress in the liver, in the lenses of our eyes, in the bone marrow. Oyster mushroom especially are high in this ergothioneine. And I looked at Kroger. I couldn't find any, but I'm sure you could find them somewhere. It's good for seasonal allergies. Also protects from breast cancer by 64%. People who had half a cup a day, after 1 week, their IgA levels in the saliva were increased. Grilled portobello mushrooms are also high in this ergothioneine. So here are the healthiest foods on the planet: the greens, the arugula, beet greens, and collard greens, kale greens, mesclun, mixed young salad greens, mustard greens, spinach, Swiss chard, turnip greens. You get the most nutrition for your calories. So if you're trying to lose weight, you want to have a huge salad of these greens. Chew it slowly, chew it well, and half your plate, 2/3 of your plate. And then the rest of the plate, you put the other foods, lots of broccoli and cauliflower. This is one of the most powerful foods to prolong life. It's also one of the strongest foods to protect against chronic diseases.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I know almost nothing about any of this. I actually came back from eating a jelly-filled donut. So, as far as greens go, I'm just not getting into fishing. I'm going to be hunting soon, and then I'll be kayaking as well. I need a snack to eat on almost all the time because I'm always hungry. What do you think would be something to fill that urge of eating something that isn't going to unbalance my diet?
That's a good question. Yeah, if you're always hungry, I mean, we can talk later in more detail, but it could be that you're not eating enough during your meals, and not enough protein, not enough fiber, because fiber fills you up, not enough roughage, and you might be just eating calories, you know, that like donuts, which are high in sugar and high in fats. However, they don't last. After 2 hours, your blood sugar goes up, and then you go all the way down, and you can be hungry. That's the same with potatoes. That's why I'm not a fan of potatoes anymore. If I eat beans, your blood sugar goes high, and you're satiated until your next meal. You know, if you have a little potatoes, that's fine. So it depends what you're eating for your breakfast, for your lunch and dinner. Are you eating good quality food that will keep you satiated? And if you are, you wouldn't be hungry in between. So I can talk to you later. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes, very good. So, most nutrition for your calorie. How many of you would like to look better? Without going to for a facelift or going to the tanning bed to achieve that golden glow. You know, it's very interesting. They did some research, and they found that people who have a golden glow on their face, they have more health and vitality and youthful looking skin. And so instead of going to a tanning bed, you can achieve this healthful glow with a bed of greens. A study of college students for 6 weeks showed that they were eating 9 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. So that's about 4.5 to 5 cups of fruits and vegetables. That's doable. We all do that, don't we? And they found they had healthier and more attractive skin, and they looked healthier and more attractive. Another study among Japanese women, they had 700 Japanese females who had crow's feet wrinkles around their eyes. And those women who had 2 or more vegetables per day had less wrinkles. Now, I really like this study because our church was involved in having a plant-based vegan health food store and restaurant about 15 years ago in Redlands, California. And the people, my mom, she was the chef, she was the cook, and I would go there and do some consultations with the people, and we would have health lectures. And And the people would always tell us this, you have such beautiful skin. There are no wrinkles and there's, it's a healthy look, and we're thinking, they're just being nice. But we received those kind of remarks from more than one person. Then when I saw these studies, I thought, now I know what it is. And the people said, it's your plant-based diet. They said, look at me, I'm eating a lot of animal products and meat, and I have wrinkles. So they kind of figured it out, and then I read this research later, and I thought, that's very interesting. So healthier looking, more attractive, less wrinkles by eating lots of greens. So here's a way to make greens taste great by having a green smoothie. How many of you are still doing green smoothies? A few, good. Half a dozen or so. So 1 bunch of spinach or kale, I like kale, but whatever you like, 3 cups of strawberries, a ripe banana, and 2 cups of water. So you pair greens with something you really love. So what are the top cancer-fighting vegetables? What do you see in the picture? Onions. Do we see garlic? We don't see garlic, but garlic is another one, especially garlic and leeks.
Can you go back one?
Go back one slide.
You switched kind of, I wasn't able to finish.
Oh, sorry.
Could you use yogurt or something for the smoothie instead of the water?
You could,
The calories?
I wouldn't use yogurt, but you know what you can do?
Almond milk?
You could use almond milk, or you can use sometimes I use a few tablespoons of frozen orange juice. It gives it a little citrus flavor. Just pure juice, not like a punch that has sugar.
Right.
Everything, or even just a banana, or you can use, what is the other? Mango. I like mango. Did someone have their hand up back there? No. Okay.
What's that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Did anyone, did you get this? Okay, thank you. So garlic is the most effective against breast cancer, child and adult brain cancer, and lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, and prostate cancer. People who were using it stopped breast tumor cells dead in their tracks. So you combine the cruciferous vegetables, especially broccoli and broccoli sprouts, together with the allium veggies, which are the onion, the garlic, and the leeks. And here's another superfood, and it's a potato, but it's not a white potato. It's the sweet potato. Significantly decreases inflammation. And by the way, for diabetics, this potato does not raise blood sugar because it has a lot more fiber and it's protective against increasing blood sugar. Would you like to live 2 extra years?
Depends.
If you're feeling good, you would, right?
What's everybody else doing?
So eating a 1/4 cup of nuts 5 or more days per week prolonged the life of people who were in the Seventh-day Adventist health study in Loma Linda by 2 years. Not only did it prolong their life, but they suffer fewer deaths from cancer, heart disease, respiratory diseases. And ginger. Ginger is a spice that is powerful. 1/8 of a teaspoon of ginger mixed with water is very good for headaches, for migraines, eighth of a teaspoon 3 times a day. When you feel a migraine coming on, immediately have some ginger powder with water. It's also good for menstrual cramps. And flaxseed, 2 tablespoons ground every morning in your cereal. You can put it in a coffee grinder or in that little, what is that little machine we all have called? A blender. Which one? NutriBullet. That's what I was thinking of. NutriBullet. I haven't used my NutriBullet lately, so I forgot the name. But it lowers blood pressure, decreases prostate and breast cancer, lowers your cholesterol and triglycerides and your blood sugar, and reduces inflammation. Blood pressure is lowered by 15 and 7 points. It's amazing. It's an amazing seed. And it tastes very good. It tastes very nutty. And turmeric. Turmeric is the most researched spice in the scientific world. They did 5,000 scientific articles on turmeric, or on the active ingredient in turmeric, curcumin. They did 50,000 scientific trials, and they found it prevents and treats lung cancer, and prevents and treats brain cancer, prevents multiple myeloma, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, ulcerative colitis. Now, when the scientific research first came out, they separated the curcumin, which is the active ingredient in turmeric, and people were buying all these pills that were very expensive. Well, now the research shows that the whole spice is very good for you, and therefore you just take a teaspoon a day. I buy them by the pounds, and have a quarter of a teaspoon a day in your smoothie or in water or whatever you like. And it's very, very healthy. It helps with inflammation. If you have something that is hurting you, I had an injury on my shoulder and it was painful. I was doing physical therapy, and so I remember turmeric, and I was taking turmeric. It stopped. The pain stopped. It's amazing how powerful turmeric is, because within 1 hour, it appears in the bloodstream after you take it in. So here is our daily dozen checklist. Okay, I will give you this handout. Beans, each of those little houses is 1 serving, okay? So we need to eat 3 servings of beans a day. And it's not only beans, but it's any of these lentils. We have the red lentils. Have some of you tried red lentils? It's very delicious. You can cook them in 20 minutes. Make a very, very good soup. And, or you can have the brown lentils. Oh, I forgot to bring those. Or white beans that are cooked very quickly. Garbanzo beans are very delicious. Chickpeas. And then there's the black beans. And so there's lots of variety. And by the way, what I'm showing you here, this is for my kitchen pantry. I never have to worry what I'm going to cook tomorrow. It's all displayed. I don't have to think. I know this is all good. This is all healthy. So every day I can take a different bean. Oh, okay. Sunday was this. We'll do this on Monday, Tuesday, or sometimes I do it for 2 days. And if there is any kind of power outage or storm, I have enough food for a few months to keep me going. So you fill up your pantry with the good things. So it's not so hard to get your 1.5 cups of beans or lentils per day. Berries, 1 serving a day. That's between strawberries, all kinds of berries. That's 1/2 cup. Other fruit, 3 servings a day. So you see we have already 4 servings of fruit. Cruciferous vegetables, these are your broccolis and cauliflowers and those healthy vegetables. You're going to only need 1 broccoli a day, or 1 cauliflower, or 1 which is half a cup. But better is more. More is better, I should say. Green vegetables, 2 servings. So if it's raw vegetables like raw salads, 1 serving is 1 cup. So 2 vegetables would be like 2 cups of salad for the day, okay? And then other vegetables. And that's where you can have some of your potatoes and carrots and peppers and some of those other things. Another 2 servings per day. And nuts and seeds, all you need is 1/4 cup a day. And here are all the good nuts displayed. And the seeds, the sunflower seeds. I have usually 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds a day because of the omega-3s. And I still have walnuts. I love walnuts. They're also omega-3s. And you can put them on your cereal, or you can sprinkle them in your salad, or whatever you like. And then spices. We talked about turmeric, but there are other spices that are good for you. Whole grains, 3 servings of whole grains. We have here, what is this? It's hard for you to see. It's cornmeal. Cornmeal. And this is what? Brown rice. Now, these 2, what is this? Quinoa. They have black quinoa and they have white quinoa, and then you can mix them together. And this is millet. And there's barley. We're going to have a dish with barley tonight. And here's oats. And buckwheat is another very good grain. So we don't have to be stuck with oats. Oats are great. But you know what? Our body likes variety. So we want to enjoy variety. And then we have whole grains. We have water for men. It's between 9 and 11 cups. For women, it's about 8 to 10. Just pure water for drinking. And exercise, 1 dose a day. And we'll tell you how much that is a little later. So, you know, as I look at this program, there's something that I see, and that is that this daily dozen of foods came from Eden's pharmacy. It came from the Garden of Eden, when our Creator said, "See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth. And every tree whose fruit yields seed to you, it shall be for meat." So the Creator has put in every food specific powerful ingredients, phytochemicals and antioxidants to protect us from disease. And he says, "See, I have given you, look, I gave you the broccoli to protect you from cancer. Look, I gave you the garlic and the onions to protect you also from cancer and prostate cancer. And I gave you the beans to protect you from high blood sugars and diabetes." So every food has something in it. You can choose to go and buy these healthy foods, or if you have a garden, go to your garden and use these healthy food, or you can continue to eat the way you're eating, and you'll have to go to the real pharmacy and have the negative side effects. So my encouragement to you is to start following this program every day. And I encourage you to do a challenge. Find 3 people that you know and invite them to eat whole plant foods for 1 day. And then give them one of these sheets and have them check it off.